Hi everyone, it is Susie and I hope everybody is doing well and I hope everybody had a good new year. I'm glad to see 2020 in the past. So anyway, I am doing a little project that I wanted to do for Christmas and I did not have the time to do it. And so I thought I would go ahead and do it for Valentine's. So this is going to be the little flip book recipe flip tag book that I had been asked if I would do a tutorial. And anyway, I really apologize. Time just got away from me there at Christmas. So anyway, the tutorial will be here, and next Christmas you'll have it to use. So it's basically just really the same thing. I'm going to be using Valentine's instead of Christmas. These are just some digital that I printed off and just resized that I'm going to be using. I will put the link to this digital paper in the description box. I will do that. So if you want to know where it comes from, I would tell you, but I cannot say her name, so I'm not going to. It will be in the description box. But I've just got some various papers. Here will be, I'm just going to use these here, these little recipes right here. Now this is just tore out of, you know, you can, if you go to thrift stores or if you go to antique shops, and you probably have some, because years ago, I mean, every church women's group or ladies group would do these fundraisers with the recipe books. And so I pick up a lot of them. I have some, but now I didn't cut up my personal ones that I had from years ago. But I have picked these up at either the antique shop or the thrift stores. And so they are the ones that I use to cut up. And I've just tore a page out, and I've used one for the Christmas one off of this one. But I'm going to use the torte cake or the turtle cake is what I will be doing. Or maybe one on the back. I'll use two recipes here. And but anyway, you can find them anywhere. You can go online and print recipes if you need to. I'm going to add also, I've just punched a hole in this. I'm going to add a little piece of this fun skating rink tickets there. I have punched a hole here for it to fit on my ring. I'm going to use some stuff to maybe layer with. I'm not sure. I picked these up at an antique shop. These are like, I'm going to use a couple of the white ones. The cream ones were too wide, so I couldn't use them. But these are like an embossed. I think they were probably used to print maybe some kind of an event or an invitation on. But I picked these up. I picked up a box of each at an antique shop. They're just, you could either use it either way, have the indent go on the inside, or you can have it raised on the outside. But I picked up actually 2 boxes, one of each. I have these in the shop. And what I had originally thought when I did buy them, because you've got a 1/2-inch border around both of these where they're kind of raised. And I thought it would be fun to maybe collage right in the center here, leaving the raised part up. And that is what I bought them for when I bought them. I thought, now that might be fun to just kind of like do a collage on, and then have it raised up like it would if it was a framed, something framed. But anyway, I don't know if you can see that or not, but they are got that little embossing on them. So I did put those in the shop. If anybody's interested, they're in there. But anyway, I'm going to use, of course, some laces and things I've just got thrown over here. I got a little paper doily. I thought I would maybe use part of that in here. So anyway, that's just some of the things that I have used. Now, I do use the Dollar Tree's file folders, because you can get that pack of folders. I don't know how many's in there. I mean, there's, gosh, probably about 10 maybe. I don't know for sure. But I like the color of the Dollar Tree file folder. So that's the reason why I buy those at the Dollar Tree when I'm using a project. Well, I think I showed you those, but I have went ahead. Of course, now I do use the ring, and this ring may be one that's too big. I may have to get a smaller one. I know that if your ring is too big, when you go to tie your ribbons and things, you just can't get a good, you know, bunch on there to make it look nice. So I may change this ring out. I may have got too big of a ring, but you can buy O-rings at the Dollar Tree as well, and they're pretty good. You might get one every once in a while that doesn't close good, but they're in like a package of, I don't know, 8, 10 as well. And so out of that, you're going to get some good ones. So what I've done is I went ahead and cut down the size that I wanted. I've got 2 different sizes going on here. This one is like a 3, go this way, a 3 by almost 5. And then my main ones, I did make about a 7. Yeah, it's about a 7 by 4. And that's what I made my main big tags out of, the size that I made them. And then, of course, I always like to put mine on the ring so that I already have it in the order as I decorate. Now, I'll take it off the ring to decorate, but I like to have them in the order I plan on decorating them. So that's kind of what I went with right there. And of course, I will add. I always enforce those holes with this little punch. Now, this is a We Are Memory Keepers punch. I don't remember exactly what it's called. It may be a hole reinforcer or reinforced rings or something. I don't know. But anyway, this is a We Are Memory Keepers punch, and I use it. I just punch out the scrap that I have left from my file folder. And so this is what I use, and I open it up, and I usually whack off, you know, these. I'll just take and whack off that, and then I will just start. I think I can get 4 out of this, and then I use the scrap up top that's being cut off to make my smaller ones. And so anyway, inexpensive for sure on your file folder, on your base part. So I made a little piece of, this is a hanky, vintage hanky, and what I thought is I'm going to put that somewhere in this. So that's kind of my plan that I have. So like I said, I always take off the ring as I'm decorating because that's just how I like to work. Okay, so what I did is I have stitched around with white stitching, and I don't know if that's going to show up, but anyway, there's white stitching that I have done around, and I have cut these, and I also used a little decorative punch to punch the bottom of these. Now my others, I just did them round. That also is a We Are Memory Keepers punch. I have several We Are Memory Keepers. Yeah, it has a stub and a deco. And the deco is the end that I use. The stub is for like your vintage tickets. Let me see, I'll use this. This is the where it cuts out your, like if you're making a ticket stub. And then your deco is that fun little punch there. So that is the deco and the stub. We Are Memory Keepers punch. I have had those for years and years. Okay, so what I thought is I want to make this one a Valentine's. And I don't have any Valentine words. I will probably either make some on the computer, or I may see if I can find some of Tim Holt's rub-ons, or let's see, possibly rub-ons, or possibly the label tape. Even Christmas may have love, and I think it did, love, joy, peace, and I may use some of the love and the joy. So I haven't dug those out yet, but I will as we go along. So I've already got this cut down to size. I got all my pieces kind of cut down to size. And I'm going to go ahead, and as this dries, I will also show you how I really get all my holes in the same spot. For most of you, I mean, you would know that, but there are some that just like to see the whole thing, how you go about doing that. So I'm going to let that dry. Now I am going to leave the back blank. Okay, so that is drying. I had to shut off the camera. I did find a little piece of just lace that I am going to actually stick there on that. But I did pull out some of these, and I wanted to show you how I actually make all the holes there for the size. Let's see, for the size that I'm working on. Okay, so once I do have a punch for my, oops, that's not what I wanted. For my angled pieces, we'll go ahead and make this the bottom. So for my angled pieces, I also have another large angle and small angle punch from We Are Memory Keepers. And so I just use that large angle to cut my tops there. So what I do when I'm making, want to get the center for my holes on my tags, I simply just take one and I get down here where it's not been cut for the, for the angle. And I just make me, I know this is 4, so I'm going to just mark it about a 2. And I just eyeball about kind of where I'm going to put my hole. You know you don't want it too tall because it will punch out. And so then I'm going to go ahead and get my little one, which is 3 1/4. 1 1/2 and 1 1/2 is 3. So I'm going to come up one because I know that that's what's going to give me a 3 1/4. So I'm just going to make a little mark there for my center. And so what I do is I grab as many tags as I can. You know, if I've got 4 or 5, I try to just grab as many as I can and punch them all at one time. Okay. And I always use the bigger hold side. You know, I wished, the only thing I don't like about a crocodile is it holds the little pieces that you cut. It holds them in the circle. They don't usually come out very good sometimes. That's the only thing I dislike about the crocodile. And so when I get ready to cut my smaller ones, if I don't mark the hole, I just sometimes will even eyeball where center is and then cut in the same hole. I definitely want to be going down to the same width there. So if I don't have it adjusted on the crocodile to do that, this is just really how I do it. And a lot of times I don't adjust the crocodile to that. So what I'll do is just mark it in there so that I'm the same width down from my big ones to my little ones here. And so once I punch these should be the same width down so that they all kind of go the same. And that's basically how I get my tags the same. Okay, so I want to go ahead, and I did also find a little printout here of some Valentine words I thought I would use. I was thinking about using the Tim Holtz that I mentioned, you know, his little things, but I went ahead and found a little bit of a download, and I will put that link in the description box where I did get those. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here because I am going to go ahead and use this little bit of lace here on the bottom of that. Okay, and I want that. I have one that wants to curl up a little bit. I'm just going to kind of glue it there. I can get my glue to the top. Okay, so I want to just give that a little bit of glue there. Keep those standing upright. Okay, so this is actually going to be the front This will be my very front little piece on my thing. And I'm not going to worry about this because when I do put the lace and stuff on there, or my ribbons, I'm not worried about what's up here too much.